have a few slides that I'd like to share with you. In the first slide, you'll see there's two ladies there, and they've been working on the Christmas shoe boxes, it looks like from all year, and they have 700 shoe boxes already. And I just thought that was phenomenal to see all those shoe boxes there. And I'm hoping at St. Paul's we're going to beat them. So, when the children are invited to the Shoebox program, they're told they're coming to a special event, and they wear their very best clothes, which isn't always what we would consider our very best clothes. However, they have no idea they're going to get a shoebox. So what they do is they cover the shoe boxes, and then in the next slide you'll see they count 1, 2, 3, and then they display the shoe boxes. And at this point, they still don't even know they're going to get a shoebox. The next slide shows you the children are all given a shoebox, and then they're told, put it high in the sky, beat it like a drum, and then they count 1, 2, 3, and then they all open the shoe boxes together. And just to be in the room when the shoe boxes have been distributed, you just feel the excitement and the love. It was just such an awesome experience when I went on my mission trip to Costa Rica in August. And I'm going to tell you a couple of stories from my trip. This lady with her 2 children, I had the honor of giving her 2 children a shoebox each, and her name was Natalie. And Natalie was so thankful that her children got a shoebox each. And later on, after her and I had taken pictures, we had talked, I just had to thank God, because I was just so happy that I got to meet a mom of 2 of the children who received the shoe boxes. Because up to that point, even though the children, when they come, they're supposed to come with a parent or a guardian, I had never met one of the moms. And I said, Lord, I would just really love to meet one of the moms. And it was just so great to meet Natalie, and she was just such a wonderful person. And one of the gentlemen that came on the trip with us to that particular church, this happened to be, by the way, the poorest church we actually went to. It was just basically one room. And he spoke to her in Spanish, and later him and I were going on the bus back to our hotel, and I said to him, what did you say to Natalie after I gave her children the shoebox? He said, well, the first thing I said to her is, I would like to bless you and your family. And he said, and then the next thing I did is I invited her. I said, he said to her, on Sunday we're having a service here. Would you like to come? And she said, I would love to come. So can you imagine if you had been the one responsible for giving one of those children a shoebox? You not only brought hope and joy and were spreading the good news, you brought those 3 children, or those 2 children and her and the mother, and possibly the father, and who knows, maybe the grandparents too, to church that very next Sunday. The next story I'd like to tell you about is about that young woman there. She's 22 years of age. She has 4 children. And if you can notice in the back of the picture, the walls are black. It's not because she doesn't know how to keep her house clean. It's because she had a fire in her house, and she's still living in it. And her father has a house, and he lives in the house next door. And her father was the sole breadwinner of her children, and a total of 13 people living in the combination of the 2 houses. And her father recently had a car accident, and he hasn't been able to work. And a group from our team went to visit them in their home, and they said it was probably one of the saddest stories they encountered on our whole mission trip. This family, the house, they had lots of clothes that were donated to them. They just covered the house, lots of old furniture. However, they really shouldn't probably be living in a house that's, being burnt to that extent. It's not for safety reasons as well as health reasons. However, the joy and the hope that was brought to that home, her father broke down. The people who went to the home prayed for the father's health and for him to have a recovery and to get back to work, and for the rest of the family. And the father just broke down and said how much he enjoyed and was so thankful that the people from our team had come and spread the good news with them and prayed, and it was the first time he'd felt God's love in quite a while. He was to the point he thought there was no hope. So there was definitely hope brought with those shoe boxes. And the next slide I want to show you is one of the little boys that was actually at a distribution. And you might remember I said they usually come in their best clothing. Well, you can tell from that little boy's shoe, that was his best clothing that he had. So wouldn't it be wonderful to know that our shoe boxes are going to spread the good news and hope and help someone like for that little boy who has a hole in his shoe. Thank you.